Hi, welcome to this presentation. What does social media cost you and how can you avoid it while growing your business? If you're like me, growing your business without social media is something that is important to you. And today we're going to discuss many options that can help you do just that. I am Dr. Robyn Graham, a former pharmacist turned business growth strategist and coach. I'm an author and I'm host of The Robyn Graham Show. I am an introvert. So if that is you and describes you, we are alike. The question of the day is, why not social media? Well, because it's costing you. And we're going to dive into how it costs you. And this does go beyond just an hourly rate or hiring someone or paying someone to do your social media management. We're going to talk about key strategies to grow your business without social media. We're going to look at what your personal brand is, how to improve visibility, marketing strategies, how to drive traffic to your website, and then measurement or evaluation of the work that you're doing so that you know what's working, what's not, and what you need to do to improve it. Many of my clients are in the health and wellness space, or they're creatives, artists, authors, writers, or in the mental health space. So I cover a lot of ground, but the one thing that is common is that they don't want to be on social media. They've tried it and they haven't been able to achieve the results that they wanted based on the amount of time they're spending on it. And they don't feel like a lot of what they're seeing is aligned with their values. Therefore, it's causing them to not have as much fun, be more distracted, and overthink. What does that result in? Overwhelm. None of us can grow a business when we feel overwhelmed because of overthinking. In fact, we tend to backpedal when that happens. Social media is not the golden egg of digital marketing. In fact, it is costing you more than it's probably making you. Unless the caveat there is you have tens of thousands of followers. So, what is the cost of social media? Well, let's start with some of those things I mentioned before. Comparison drives you to overthink. It drives you to experience imposter syndrome, doubt, fear. When you experience any of those four things, what happens? You get stuck in a cycle of procrastination. Or you're spending time scrolling because now that you are distracted and overwhelmed and overthinking, you think you need to go to another platform to garner ideas because your creativity has been stifled by all of these what if and overthinking thoughts. When that happens, you lose so much time because you get sucked in to the scroll. And then it becomes a vicious cycle because you're scrolling, you're seeing more content, but the problem is you're now comparing yourself to those people that you're seeing, to what their results are, which half the time, are they even true? Are they even real? We don't know because the grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence. But when you have any of these four things, comparison, imposter syndrome, doubt, fear, they're going to increase your level of anxiety and they're going to make you feel pretty yucky. And you're not going to want to show up as your authentic self. You're going to be presenting yourself as someone who's trying to be what they're not. And when that happens, you cause confusion. And when your viewers are experiencing confusion about who you are and what you do and who you serve, they're not going to buy from you because confusion results in a lack of trust. And we know that confused people don't buy. Another cost of social media is paying someone to do your social media management. And this can be very costly. And if you are experiencing any of the first four factors, then even if someone else is doing your social media management for you, you aren't showing up and engaging in the DMs or answering questions or engaging on other people's platforms as your authentic self in a confident way that's going to build trust. And another factor is that time is money. So if you're spending time scrolling, if you're spending time creating tons of content that you're publishing on platforms that you don't own, that are subject to an algorithm showing them to other people, you are losing money every single time. So in summary here, you don't want to end up with only coins in your pockets. But the reality is, you also don't want to lose money and time and energy, because we know that positive energy is what's going to move you forward. Positive thoughts are what are going to help you make wise choices and wise behaviors so that you get the outcomes and the results that you want in your business and for your clients. So this here is so critically important, that if you're experiencing any of these things, they are costing you, because procrastination is the end result of these. And when you're procrastinating, you are wasting time, which equals money. So especially if you are relatively new to entrepreneurship or just starting your business, if you aren't creating the results you want in your business, even if you've been in business 3, 5, 10 years, those results are impact and money, right? You're having an impact on the people you're serving and helping, and you're making money by doing so. So if you're not getting those two results, having impact and making money, you need to look at the foundation of your business. If you're relying on social media, you're putting yourself at risk. Eventually, you'll crack. It's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable marketing strategy or a sustainable business model. You lose credibility if you don't have a solid foundation that you can continuously build on, that is truly sustainable. Social media is ever changing. The algorithm shifts, and the rules that it's playing by shift constantly. And the algorithms were not designed for you unless you are putting money into ads. They aren't going to favor you. Maybe if you post 7 times a day, which I just heard someone say that that's now what they're expecting, at least that was about a month ago. That's crazy. Who has time for that? And who has energy for that? The reality is you don't own these platforms. So if you're using these platforms to grow your business or as the foundation for your business, ultimately that foundation is going to crack because it's not sustainable. The stress of instability and overthinking will result in burnout, or worse, giving up. And friends, your soulmate clients need you. There are people out there just waiting for you to show up and serve them, for them to find you as the solution to their problem, to fulfill that desire that they have for their business or their life. So I encourage you to, instead of focusing on social media, adopt these key strategies to grow your business without social media. To start, I want to emphasize your personal brand. Once we start a business, we hear a lot about personal branding, and then we're all in for a little while, but then sometimes people kind of step away, and social media can distract you from the core of your personal brand. Your personal brand is the perception that other people have of you. It's what they think, say, and feel about you, and what they may say about you when you're not in the room, when they're talking to someone else who could be a potential client or a potential referral source or a potential collaboration opportunity. Your personal brand is how you differentiate yourself. What makes you unique compared to everybody else in your area of expertise or your niche? And your personal brand must have clarity. You have to be clear on what you do, how you do it, who you serve, your why, and then you have to be able to communicate that. Your audience must perceive that you are the one they need. When you differentiate yourself, you provide clarity on what makes you unique, what experiences you've had on your journey, what education you've had that gives you a level of expertise. All of these things come together, the good, the bad, the not so good, the ugly, all of these things that you've experienced on your journey differentiate you from everybody else in your area of expertise. And your soulmate clients need you, they don't need them. Because the more you differentiate yourself and you provide that clarity for them, they're going to see that your values align, that you are the one that is going to be able to provide effectively the solution that they need. Now, how are you communicating this? That's where it gets really important for your visibility, because you have to get seen in order for people to find you and ultimately hire you. The key is to not blend in. You need to differentiate, demonstrate your uniqueness, and shout it from the rooftops. And that doesn't mean you have to be on social media 24/7. Only 7.6% of your followers will organically see your post on Instagram. That's not very much, especially if you don't have a huge follower base. In addition, I think it was on Social Insider, I read a statistic a couple days ago that the year-over-year statistic for how many people will show or be shown, I should say, your Instagram post has decreased by 18%. Ironically, that number is a little higher for Facebook. More people are seeing posts on Facebook than they are seeing on Instagram. But I think the majority of people these days are focusing business growth on Instagram unless they have a Facebook group. So keep that in mind, that if you are going to start using social media or continue using social media, evaluate where are you getting the most views on your content. To understand what your organic reach is, here's an equation for you. You take your post and see how many people are seeing it. That one post, you can do one post, you could do an average of posts, but how many people are seeing your post? And then divide that by the number of followers. So for example, if you had 100 views on a post, 100 people saw your post, you have 2,500 followers, that's a 4% organic reach. It's not very much. So if you're depending on social media to communicate your brilliance, you're probably going to get lost in the shuffle. To become more visible, you need a brand marketing strategy that helps people find you, that is not controlled by an algorithm. You want a place, a platform, a home for your content where you can control traffic, where you can drive traffic, where you can be found organically by a larger reach. Before you decide where you're going to start publishing content or become more visible, you have to get curious and you have to provide clarity. We're back to that word clarity. Clarity and specificity are absolutely crucial for growing your business. Like I said before, if people are confused, they are not going to stick around and they are not going to buy from you. So having that clarity is going to be very important. Know the voice of your customer. You can get this voice of customer many ways. If you have a Facebook group, you can garner that information from the questions that you ask when people come to join your group. You can gather that information from discovery calls or questionnaires that you have, but you could do surveys with your email list. But know the voice of your customer. Know where your soulmate clients are searching for answers. Know what your soulmate clients are searching for. Know their pain points. Know their needs. Know their desires. Know the point of their journey that they're in, where they're at on their journey. Are they 6 months to a year to 5 years behind you? Did you have a similar journey? Because if you did, you can put yourself in their shoes and think about what were those questions that you had. that you can now, because you've had all this experience, answer for them or provide a solution for. What characteristics or values do your soulmate clients need from you? What is their expectation? And what values do they need to align with in order to purchase from you? You have to be able to answer these questions to become visible for your soulmate clients. So let's talk about some marketing strategies for visibility. And when I say visibility, I mean sustainable visibility, which is ultimately going to produce sustainable success, consistent results. So I need to move this up a little bit, move me a little bit. There we go. To get found online, you have options, okay? You have social media. Most of the time when people go to search social media, they're searching for information. You also have Google. And most of the time when people go to Google, they are searching for a solution. They're ready to buy. They know what they need. They know what they want. SEO is a long-term strategy, and that's how you get found on Google. Social media is a short-term strategy. I have to show this data. And I believe, oh my gosh, I forget where I got this information from. Maybe it was HubSpot or Social Insider. I can't remember. And I should have put the label here and I didn't. So I apologize for that. I have it in a blog post on my website. So if you want that information, reach out to me and I will get you the actual reference for this. I did not make up these numbers. I actually took it from a journal or a blog that I saw online. And it was relatively recent as well. So I know these numbers are current. But TikTok, you're going to be visible for 0 to 2 minutes. Again, this is going to be determined by your follower count and how the algorithm sees you as a person promoting content on their site. Twitter, 15 to 18 minutes. Facebook, 5 to 6 hours. LinkedIn, 24 hours. Instagram, 48 hours. And this is a range. It could be 18 to 48 hours, but I put the longer here just to give you perspective. YouTube is 20 days. Pinterest is 4 months. And I've actually read stats up to 7 months for Pinterest. And blog post, 2 years. And I have to share with you, I have a blog post from 4 years ago that is still ranking #1. So there is endless opportunity, sustainable opportunity when you use a blog. Most of my work involves SEO, thus blogging, Pinterest, YouTube, because these 3 are search engines. So you have a plethora of opportunity to be found by more people. In order to rank on Google and be found, you have to optimize your site. Your copy, your messaging, your copy, your pages, and your blogs, when they're optimized, you have a better chance of being found by search engines. We'll use Google for search engines because that is the most popular, but I want you to recognize that Pinterest and YouTube are both search engines also, but then you have other search engines as well, like Bing and many others that are out there. But for the sake of this presentation, I will refer to Google because it's one that everyone is very familiar with, and it is the most popular. But if you are ranking, you have more opportunity and you have more improved visibility. Optimization begins with strategy. And it's a long game strategy. It's not a short game. As you could see, out of a blog post, you're going to get visibility for at least 2 years. That is spectacular. Because what that means is that you have a constant opportunity to bring new people into your community and convert them to paying clients. Clarity and knowing your soulmate client are absolutely critical for your search engine optimization strategy. Those questions that I referred to a few minutes ago, those are ultimately how you're going to decide what your keywords and key phrases are. You have to know that voice of customer and what your people, the people that you want to work with, that you know you will be fulfilled by working with, and that you can definitely help and produce great results and have a big impact. Those are the people you need to know what they're searching for, what questions they're asking, what their pain points, needs, and desires are. So, what does an SEO strategy look like? I want to direct you to my website, therobyngraham.com/resources, because there is a video there that you can view. It's SEO. It's an intro to SEO for small business owners and entrepreneurs. And we're touching just the tip of the iceberg today in this presentation because of time. But there is an entire video there. It's less than 30 minutes, but it'll give you great insight into creating your own SEO strategy. And it's got examples. I went behind the scenes in a website so you could actually see what it looks like. So that's a great place to start if you don't already know SEO and don't have an SEO strategy. And if you're like me and you geek out a little bit on strategy and a little bit of tech plus creativity, then you're going to actually love getting into SEO because it's almost like this competitive drive. And as introverts, being on social media can be totally exhausting because we have to be so much more on. But when we're using search engine optimization, it's kind of a behind the scenes type thing. So we can build this out and get visible without having to be present all the time. So that's kind of cool. Not to say you don't need to be present once in a while in video formats and things like that, but that's what Pinterest and YouTube are for. So when you're working on your search engine optimization strategy, first and foremost, you've got to have clarity on your niche and your expertise. Again, this comes into play for differentiation. Services and products. These are also extremely important. You have to know why you do what you do, how you do what you do, and the results that you produce, the benefits of working with you. And you have to know what pain points and needs and desires your products and services solve. And again, here's that soulmate client. And I say soulmate client because I feel like when we are working with the right clients, our souls are full, we're fulfilled, we're happy, and we are excited to work with them. So you could say ideal client just to clarify, but I say soulmate client because they're so incredibly important to me and my individual contentment and growth within my own business. So here is something that you can use. It's my little formula: results, problems, desires. Know the results that you get, the problems they have, and the desires they have. And when you follow the RPD method for creating content, this is going to make it easier for you because you'll know specifically what you want to write about that's going to reach your soulmate client. It'll help you with your keywords and key phrases. This is all part of your differentiation and clarity work. So I encourage you, if you have not done that work before, sit down with a notebook and make a list of all of the things that differentiate you from everyone else in your expertise and go way back, because everything from your youth, your education, your experiences, your personality, what other people say about you, ask your friends, ask your family members what words they would use to describe you. All of these things differentiate you from everybody else in your area of expertise. So now that you're going to optimize your website and your blogs, how are you going to drive traffic to them? Well, whether you're using social media or not, your website is going to be your foundation. The content you produce there is evergreen and you can repurpose it everywhere else. When you repurpose that content, that's how you're going to drive traffic to your site. The more traffic your site sees, the more traffic to your site that Google sees, the more credible Google is going to think that your site is. And they're going to then start sending people to your site. I think this is the fun part, driving traffic to your site. So there are a lot of strategies to drive traffic to your site, but the ones that we're going to focus on primarily today are Pinterest, email marketing, podcasting, podcast guesting, and speaking, social media. I know I said it, but listen, I'll explain. I am not promoting you being on it all the time. I have a couple of ideas for you, though, that you can use so that you don't have to be on it, but still have opportunities to drive traffic to your site, YouTube, and your network. People, relationships, so important. And this is not from days gone by. I know we're mostly virtual now, but there are so many live opportunities and virtual opportunities to build relationships. And ultimately, that is key for sustainable success. So let's start with Pinterest. Pinterest is a search engine, as I mentioned before. Your boards and pins within Pinterest become part of your strategy. You want to educate, entertain, and inspire, just like you would if you're writing a blog post or sending an email. Use keywords and key phrases that match what you're using on your website or your blog post. The purpose of Pinterest is to drive traffic to an optimized blog post. And then your CTA is going to be download an ebook or gather more information by following this checklist or this template or whatever it is that you want to use as a lead magnet. It's really important to have that call to action so you can grow your email list, because that email list is what you own. And when you have a strong email list, you can send anything you want to them to talk about your business, share the results you're getting, share case studies, to just provide value where they see you as credible and trustworthy. So provide value on Pinterest, but ultimately provide something short and sweet, and then send them to learn more from your optimized blog post. Email marketing, one of my favorites. Of course, again, there's strategy involved. There always has to be strategy, or you aren't going to know what step to take in the right direction, in the right order. So you want to educate, entertain, and inspire. Email marketing will help you stay front of mind, top of mind, so that maybe someone's not going to buy from you today when they receive your email, but you're now top of mind. And if they're having a conversation with someone tomorrow who needs what you were discussing in your email, they're going to refer them to you. Same thing for collaboration opportunities. They may have something coming up, like a summit, just like what you're experiencing now, where they want to have you come on because you just presented them something really great in their email, and they see the value you provide, and now they want to invite you into their community to show you off. And because they trust you, their people are going to trust you. So it's a win-win. Always provide value. When you're doing an email to your email list, drive traffic to your blog post or to a sales page, but your CTA should always be included in an email to your people. It could be to go listen to a podcast and you have another call to action in the podcast, like download this free ebook. Or it could be that you have a blog post on your website that you want them to go and read. And again, there's going to be a call to action there. And maybe that call to action is to book a call with you. But no matter, there's always a call to action, and you're always doing something to grow your business or grow the awareness of your business or to grow your community. Be consistent. When you are consistent with how you show up, whether on Pinterest, on your blog post, in your email marketing, the more consistent you are, the more trust you build. The larger your community will become, and the more referral sources you're going to have. And honestly, when these things all grow, when you're consistent and you build your community, you're going to build your confidence in yourself, but you're also going to build the confidence that other people have in you. All right, podcasting, podcast guesting, speaking / PR. One of my faves. Again, now I love podcasting, but I also love being a podcast guest. Both have immense value from a public relations perspective, from being seen as an authority or an expert in your niche, and for growing your community. and for generating revenue because you're increasing your email list, you're growing your community, you're building trust, you're doing all the things that ultimately create a sustainable pipeline for your business. We're talking about high quality lead generation. So for the strategy for podcasting or being a podcast guest, it's kind of like I said before, when someone invites you to be a podcast guest, they're inviting you into their community. They trust you to deliver value to their listeners. You're going to make them look good and you're going to provide value. So they're going to trust you and their audience is going to automatically trust you. So they become warm leads for you. So then you give them that call to action to join your email list, download a free ebook or a lead magnet, or go visit your blog post. Either way, you're driving traffic to your site and you're increasing the opportunity to grow your community and to build more relationships and trust. The same with speaking. All of these give you the opportunity for a call to action to grow your community. So podcasting, you build trust, you demonstrate your expertise and authority, you grow your community, you drive traffic to your website, you drive traffic to your email list, depending on what your call to action is. If you're driving them to your website to learn more about you or to access more information, you're driving them to free resources. You're building relationships with the people you're speaking for, the people that are writing about you, the people that are asking you to be a podcast guest or that are guesting on your show. You also gain the opportunity for referral sources. You have collaboration opportunities more so than you had before doing this public relations or marketing strategy. And when you have a podcast, you can use a blog post for your show notes and optimize that blog so that it's present forever, but especially Google's going to find that and then share it with the world so that more people can find you and that valuable information that you put there. Okay, we're back to social media. And here is the thing that I want to emphasize here. You don't have to be on social media all the time to use it to market your business. If you have a link in your bio, and now on Instagram, for example, you have the opportunity to put multiple links. So in that space, you can have the link to your website and you can have the link to free resources so that you can have people go and grab your lead magnets, your freebies, so that you can grow your email list. Once they're on your email list, that's when you nurture them and you really grow the relationship with them, which will ultimately convert them to paying clients. Now, on Instagram, you can pin 3 posts to the top of your grid. When you pin those 3 posts to the top of your grid, you want to emphasize what you do, who you serve, and have a call to action there, like to your lead magnet or to your podcast or to a book you've written. Whatever it is, you want to showcase your expertise and you want to give these people that are viewing your profile, because inevitably people will find you even if you're not active there. And it could be because of your bio and the keywords or key phrases that you have in your bio. It could be because of hashtags you've used previously. But either way, people will land on your profile. So you want to give them enough information so they understand what you do, where they can learn more from you, and you want to give them that opportunity to download your free resources. You want to make sure that your bio is very clear and concise so that people understand what it is you do, how you do it, and who you serve. And then include those links, because then you're driving traffic without even having to be there. It's a win. All right, we're at YouTube. So YouTube, like I said before, is a search engine. There's a lot of power here. Now, you have to have a strategy as well, and you want to have that strategy include driving traffic to your website. That's why there's a description space when you upload a YouTube video. You can put the title and you can put the description. You can also use tags. Now, what I recently read is that your description and your title are most likely where the keywords, key phrases are going to be identified to drive traffic to you versus the tags. Tags are less important, but I do encourage you to use them because you have a lot of tags that you can put in per post. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you have tags that are reflective of what you do, who you serve, how you do what you do, your name, your business name, your key programs or offerings. You want to make sure that you optimize those tags, but most importantly, you want to have keywords and key phrases in the title and the description of your YouTube post. Always have a CTA. I know I've said CTA so many times, but that call to action is critical because people don't know what to do unless you tell them what you want them to do. So if that is to go visit your website, include your website link. If that is to download a free lead magnet, encourage them to go do so. That becomes your call to action. If you want them to book a call with you, that could be your call to action. If you want them to buy a course or register for a course, that can be your call to action, but always include a call to action that ultimately gets people onto your email list and into your community. Again, search engine optimization is key for YouTube SEO. You can do short videos or you can do long form videos. Both have weight in terms of your overall YouTube appearance. When you show up on video, people can connect with you and build that emotional connection with you. And so that helps you build trust. You can repurpose content from YouTube to other platforms and from other platforms to YouTube. So for example, the podcast, you can put your podcast on YouTube. Any videos that you do for your podcast, you can put or audio, you can do only audio as well on YouTube. If you're doing videos and publishing them on YouTube, you can repurpose the short videos to Pinterest or to other social media platforms or to blogs on your website. You can repurpose content from YouTube to your email list. And when you do that, then you drive people back to the video. So you just put the link or you embed the video into your email to your people. You can also publish masterclasses on YouTube or repurpose videos from a masterclass to YouTube or vice versa. And your network, I mentioned this before, build relationships, either in person or online. A combination is great. Refer people to those people in your network, and they'll do the same to you. So win-win. They'll refer to you when you refer to them, and vice versa. Collaborate. Ask people to collaborate with you and accept their invitations when they ask you to collaborate with them, because then you have opportunities to grow your network. Stay in touch. Don't just drop the ball after you've met someone. Communicate. Reach out a week later and say, hey, what were your thoughts on the event? It was so nice to meet you. It was so great to connect with you. How can I help you? Is there anyone you would like for me to introduce you to? Give them the opportunity, and then you can ask them to do the same for you. It's a great way to build trust. Just remember to follow through when you do make a commitment when you're building your network. Oops, I went backwards. All right, so you've done a lot of work now. You've decided all of the details about your soulmate client, how to differentiate yourself. You've made your commitment to a platform or 2 or 3 that you're going to have an emphasis on so that you can increase your visibility. But that's not where it ends. You still have to evaluate your work. What is working? What's not? Use analytics on your website to see where people are coming to, what pages, what information are they gathering? Are your lead magnets converting? When people click to that page, are they actually clicking and downloading the ebook? Which platforms are performing best for you? Because then you can determine where you want to spend most of your time. Look at your email marketing rates, open rates, click-through rates, conversion rates. Know your numbers. There's a lot of value in those numbers. There's a reason all these platforms give us analytics. Use them so that you know what's working, what's not, and you can make shifts so that you can either improve or get rid of something that's not working, or make changes to make things work better for you so that you become more visible. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present to you today. I am going to share the link to my resource page again. There's a plethora of things there for you, but again, that SEO video is there, and there's an ebook there on 10 strategies to grow your business without social media. So if you've enjoyed this, if you found this helpful, all of this information plus more is included in that free ebook that I know you'll enjoy. All right, thank you again. I'm Robyn Graham. I am a business growth strategist and coach, and I am so happy that you are here with me today, and I look forward to connecting with you off of this platform. Go ahead and send me an email if you want, or download those free resources. Enjoy the rest of the summit.